What was the greatest pleasure you ever felt?
The greatest non-sexual pleasure I've ever felt was 32 years ago. I was swimming with friends in the Pacific Ocean at Balboa Park in California. I got wiped out by a huge wave. My friends helped me out of the water, and I went and laid on the grass underneath palm trees looking up at the clear blue sky. A feeling of peace just washed over my body. I've never felt that kind of thing again. Edit, it was Newport Beach.
Had sinus surgery and removing the internal splints after about a week being clogged up was probably the best thing in the world.
This one is kind of gross FYI. I got surgery to fix a broken nose so I could breathe better. This involved having my nose packed with packing, essentially tampons, for a few weeks. It wasn't the removal of the packing that was amazing, it was the first time I blew my nose shortly after. It felt like a 1/2 cup of mucus was pulled directly from my brain and there was a golf ball-sized result in the tissue. The best feeling I ever experienced was directly after that, where breathing through my nose was so incredibly easy. I felt like a superhuman who conditioned in the Andes for months of something. I laughed with excitement.
I have an extremely rare, maybe 100 in the US, genetic anomaly that makes susceptible to growing GI tract and other cancers. I just had my 45th surgery, my younger sister has had 70. It's not the anesthesia I enjoy, but the pre-anesthesia DG they give you in the waiting bed, while under warmed-up blankets. Hours of near bliss and conscious to enjoy it. Gotta look at the sunny side, right?
45 surgeries? Oh gosh, so would that once every few months?
Most since I turned 33, but my first was at 6 years old. I'm 53 now, had 5 in the last 13 months including 1/3 of my left lung removed. I will probably get a kidney out this year.
Taking a poo in my own bathroom after a long vacation.
Almost brings a tear to my eye just thinking about it.
After consulting 3 high-powered attorneys about my fiancé's citizenship case, and being told they wouldn't take it BC it was impossible to win, I, a layperson, spent a week, night and day, studying the law and putting together 125 pages document, received in the mail that he won the case and got his citizenship in the US.
Kick ass. Now that's high-powered.
Thanks. We sent a picture of him with his citizenship certificate to the biggest attorney and they were shocked. I followed it up a copy of my resume in case they were hiring lol.
Probably when I began to go to the gym. The first day was very rough because I have never went to a gym before, so I was really tired. When I got home I just took a hot shower, I let myself fell into my bed and man, I fell asleep like in 5 seconds. Bro, I really slept well that night. The best sleep I've ever had.
A pretty rich schoolmate treated us to a fancy restaurant for their birthday and they served us lobster ravioli for a starter. I can't explain the effing explosion of joy and palate pleasure as I ate something like that for the first time. I don't know if it was the lobster itself, or the sauce. No meal has ever come close to how good that was. I can still remember it vividly 12 years later. Silly, but that's it.
Putting my feet on near my radiator after coming home from a cold day.
How did you take your feet off in the first place? I had a small project go wrong. As I went to fix one part, a sub-part messed up. So I had to step back to work on that. Then a sub-sub part messed up. I took another step back. What I expected to take 20 minutes took 4-ish hours. But 3.5 hours in, I thought there was no way it would work out at all. When I got it all fixed, I did the Billy Madison, I am the smartest man alive. I've been riding that high for a few weeks now.
99 little bugs in the code, 99 little bugs, take one down, patch it around, 117 little bugs in the code.
When school's cancelled for the day and you're half asleep and overhear your mother tell your sister not to wake you up because school's out. Used to leave a smile on my face before snuggling back into my covers.
Damn, especially when it's raining or snowing that day, loudly crying.
No evidence of disease.
The previous test was a false positive. Best day of my life.
Not in intensity, but putting back a sock after brooches were removed in my foot. After 1 month of bandages and a special shoe to walk on your heel, being able to walk with both feet level and in regular shoes was very surprising and awesome. Edit, thank you for my first awards. This is a great pleasure too.
Somewhat similar, many years ago I broke a bone in my leg and was on crutches for a few months. Happened to go to a pool and someone alerted me to the fact that I could probably walk in the pool since water rehabilitation is a thing. It felt so surreal to walk again that I spent more than an hour just walking back and forth in the shallow end, probably looking like a fool. I cannot imagine the joy that people with far more severe injuries feel when they take their first steps.
Almost dying, I was drifting away, and it felt so good. Very scary.
Elaborate.
The next bit is horrible as you start to come back. It was horrible, I really don't like thinking about it. My mind had left my body, and when coming back, I felt like I was struggling to feel sane. As I couldn't really sense myself and my body, and I felt like my legs were trying to move, and my brain wasn't able to stop them from moving. Eventually, I passed out, and my brain seemed to sync back with my mind again. You feel warmth and happiness, it's surreal. And you feel like something pulling you, and you want to sleep. But you know if you close your eyes you won't wake up, but you're okay with it, you ready for what's next. I honestly felt like there was a next to all of this, so I was ready. Obviously, the hospital doctor sees that happening, and they like, oh no, you don't.
I had a dream that I was a toaster. I woke with a feeling of anticipation. Then I made toast with pure concentration. Afterwards I was entirely fulfilled, having accomplished the ultimate purpose of my existence.
Getting my first paycheck after 4 years of just making enough and a year of COVID out of work and getting a job that pay more than I've ever had experienced. Having just something else than a negative number at the end of the month for maybe the first time in 5 years. That.
Congrats. So glad for you. It's so demoralizing to work and feel dread and doom on payday. Edit. Demoralizing is a bit of an understatement, since your very life depends on your livelihood.
Standing by a raging bonfire after I fell into a mountain stream in the dead of winter.
What a coincidence. My greatest pleasure was standing in MNT stream after I fell into a bonfire in the dead of summer.
Hearing, I love you, for the first time, unconditionally, after growing up in a house of abuse and trauma.
Immediately after giving birth, like right when she came out, all the pressure and heaviness in my stomach went away immediately and it was the best feeling. Going from being stretched out, bloated, with a baby pushing on your organs to totally empty was a huge relief to me. Edit. Yes, it is like taking a huge poo except 1000x more relieving. Also, the superwoman feeling after is a close second to this feeling. Then the shower when you get home.
I'm glad it wasn't just me. My husband thought I'd lost my mind when I was taking giant steps around the hospital room an hour after giving birth saying, look how many activities I can do now. This is amazing. Such a good feeling.
Waking up and realizing there's no work, school today and going back to sleep.
Especially snow days.
Probably when it rains whilst the fan is on and you're under the blankets.
Waking up early on a rainy day and going back to sleep. I'm waking up now after sleeping in for just that.
I was up for 38 hours, then I crashed in my bed. I giggled like a child as I fell asleep.
Why 38 hours?
Work, notary, packing up, work. If I would have napped somewhere in there for 2 or 3 hours I would have been fed up after.
Once had to work 33 hours straight doing snow removal. Afterwards went and had a deep tissue massage. Literally the beat feeling in my entire life. Edit. Wow, 2K upvotes? Never thought this would be my most upvoted comment. Thank you all for the love very much.
The shower and bed after camping for 4 days at a music festival.
Pro tip: always wash your sheets before you leave for the fest. That way you get to sleep on nice soft bed with clean sheets.
My first poop after getting my appendix out. Didn't poop for 8 days and when I finally did it was fantastic. I still think about it and smile. Edit. Thank you for the awards, kind strangers. I'll be reliving this great poop all day now.
I was on opiates after my shoulder surgery and didn't poo for 3 days. After the head popped through, like 2 to 3 feet of semi-liquid poo blasted out. I have never felt relief like that since.
Can't pick out one, but here are a few. My first time shooting up morphine. Me getting rid of my addiction, 8 years clean now. All of my 3 kids being delivered. Becoming debt-free. Wild mix TBH.
Seeing all the surprisingly wholesome comments on a NSFW Ask Reddit post.
Waking up and realizing I no longer have to work anymore.
After I got my first job, I would wake up early in a panic, then think, oh wait, all I have to do is go to work. No homework or studying, just wake up, go to work, come home and enjoy. But now I'm like, work again today. Sigh, I like my work, but the fact that I have to do it is a bummer. Still, I'm thankful for it. Farting and that stomachache just disappearing.
This happened so bad to me once I ended up at the ER. Woke up in the middle of the night, excruciating pain, vomited from how much it hurt, could barely walk, drenched in sweat. Have my wife drive me to the ER, get taken in immediately, doctors doing blood work and prepping me to do some x-rays, when all of a sudden I ripped the biggest fart of my life. It smelled terrible, but all the pain went away. Most expensive fart of my life too.
Probably the day we got to keys to our house, watching my wife cry because she never thought it would happen.
This comment came after the divorce comment in the thread. Reading super quickly, I thought it said, watching my ex-wife cry after she couldn't keep the house, after I got the keys to the house.
Huge crush on this lady I worked with. Same company, at different locations, but we would see each other once or twice a week when our duties overlapped. I got the vibe that she was interested in me as well, but I never acted on it. There was a retirement party at a local bar, and she mentioned that she was going to be there. I nursed 2 beers for 3 hours on the chance she would show up, because I didn't want to be hammered like our colleagues. She arrives at 11:30, walks straight over to where we are sitting, and puts her arm around my waist. Boom. Been together for 16 years. And #X200B. Happy.
This makes me happy.
Walking out of prison and realizing I'm finally free. I was in for 6 years. Just got out August 6th. 17 days ago.
Signing my divorce papers and my ex-wife saying, "Damn, you look good." She initiated the separation and divorce. I just hugged her, told her I loved her one last time and walked the F away. Edit for those interested, we all have our issues. I had mine as well. Took the relationship for granted and was too causal about how good I felt about things, got selfish in the meantime. We'd been together for 7 years, married for 6 months. She had a strange physical attraction to love ratio and was told at a young age, if you want to sleep with someone you must be in love with them. She came to me saying she was in love with her boss and had been for 2 years. We tried consulting to no avail. It blindsided me and I went to a dark place. Had an epiphany during the separation. Now I'm married to my high school sweetheart. 2 awesome stepsons. We're trying for a third. Thank you for those who shared their time.
Closing parenthesis, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis.
Getting my divorce decree in the mail.
Fentanyl. They gave it to me after a back surgery and I understand why it's so dangerous, but DAYUUUUM.
When my abuser was sentenced to 35 years in prison, no chance of parole. Landing in Maine, coming back from my first combat deployment. Never mind the fact that I completely forgot Maine was a state. It was glorious.
I live in Maine. Can confirm it's easy to forget about. Nothing here but trees and old people.
Proving someone wrong over the internet, of course.
God damn it, for the last time you did not prove me wrong. Fish do not fall from the sky when it rains.
Anonymously helping people. One time a couple with a tire was walking down the street. I picked them up and took them to get a wire transfer from some aunt. It was taking forever and I knew a used tire was only $40 minus $50. I told them to not worry about it and drove to a used tire place and paid for a tire. Drove them back and helped put on. Another time a young lady was driving and I saw her tire was shredded. I made a U-turn and followed her into a gas station. I noticed your tire was in bad shape. Do you need help changing it? She had no clue she even had a spare. I got the tire changed and they were very thankful. That poo makes me feel great. I never tell them my full name. Never ask for repayment or any kind of public posts. I love when no one finds out. My other favorite thing is buying the meal of anyone sitting alone.
When they gave me morphine and several bags of fluid to flush out a kidney stone, the instant relief combined with the morphine euphoria, sweet baby Jesus. Edit, my highest upvoted Reddit ever. One sentence about dope and kidney stones. Thanks for coming through for me, internet.
I got a morphine shot into an IV line. It was that moment that I understood why morphine was a controlled substance. I had never felt that level of chemical bliss since. This was around 15 years ago and I remember it like yesterday.
The day my daughter was born, I was holding her in front of me. Just sitting in a chair in the hospital staring at her. I have the most vivid memory of being so elated and overwhelmed by emotions that my body completely stopped automatic breathing. Every few seconds I would start to run out of air and gasp a little to catch my breath manually. I held her for what felt like an hour. This was years ago and I can confidently say it was the best moment of my life.
Coming home from work and taking off my bra. Good effing lord. Ladies, if you know you know.
Girlfriend and I came at the same time.
Came what? To the same conclusion?
My girlfriend is mute but her voice returns for very short periods of time. From what I'm guessing 1 to 5 minutes to a time. She told me that she got her voice back, and I was extremely happy and asked her what she said. She said she just repeated my name and I cried hearing this. And #X2OOB. Edit, grammar.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.